David will give it to the children, Dharma school children.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I don't see many children, but I assume that you're all children, huh? Good morning, everyone. We'll try again. Welcome to all the Shotsky families who have joined us today. I give a small Dharma talk to the children that are going in Dharma school. Do we have any children? All of you. All right. Young at heart. Young at heart. So many years ago, 400 years before before the Common Era, Shakyamuni Buddha was teaching. And one of the teachings he was sharing with his disciples. There was one side, Ananda, there was Mahamagayana, there was Sariputra, and there was Kasyapa. And Shakyamuni at this time was talking to his disciples and said, "What is the Bodhidharma? What is all this teaching that I'm trying to teach you?" And he said, and he held up this flower. And he asked his disciples, "What is this flower?" "This is my teaching." And Sariputra said, "It's a flower." And Ananda said, "It's a green thing with something yellow on it." And he turned to Kasyapa, and Kasyapa, his newest disciple, he just smiled. And with that smile, Shakyamuni Buddha said, "You understand my true mind." And with that, he gave the flower to Kasyapa and realized that Kasyapa had the true understanding of the Buddha Dharma. This supposedly is the story of how the Zen tradition began. Zen is a study of mind-to-mind transmission. You meditate and with somebody who has deep understanding, and the mind of your master is transmitted, just as the mind of Shakyamuni Buddha was transmitted to Kasyapa. But the rest of us, the other three disciples that were in the room, they didn't get it. And so, thinking that we are the tradition of Bonbu practitioners, let's see if some of our kids and young at heart can figure out what this is. Does anyone tell me what this is? Mr. Kashiwagi, you've been here a long time. What is this? Your mind to transmit. He got it right. It's a flower, right? Where does this flower come from? The earth? Where does the earth come from? Space? Where does space come from? Big Bang. What? The Big Bang? Where does the Big Bang come from? We don't know. No idea at all? Comes from maybe what? Maybe nothing. Maybe something? Does anybody want to take a guess? We don't know. And it's at that point that we don't know that we have to take a leap of faith in which we start to say that this flower comes from nothing and then goes from nothing, and that there's really no beginning and no ending. And I like to think from a Jodo Shinshu perspective, we're one of the three that didn't get it. But in this room, we can just think about it a little bit, and we can realize this flower holds great meaning. And we too, just by thinking about it, Kasyapa got it right away, that we can understand what the Buddha Dharma is all about. Nothing, everything, something, and what's in between. And then whatever Nanayo said, also that. Okay, that's our Dharma school lesson for today. So what I want to share with you today is something that actually happens to me quite frequently. Whenever I go to parties, I'm asked, "Is Amida a god?" And then I usually say, "Well, it depends on what you mean by God." Okay, he says, "Well, what about this? You Buddhists, when you die, do you believe that you are reincarnated?" And so I usually will say something like, "I don't know. I haven't died yet." Okay, what about this one? When you say you are reborn in the Pure Land, is that like heaven? And I always say, "Well, I'll let you know when I get there." In answering these questions, I don't really mean to be impertinent, although there's sometimes an annoyance in the middle of a cocktail party. But to tell persons, as we would teach in IBS or wherever we might go for ministerial training, when you say the name Namo Amida Butsu even once and thus attain the Pure Land, you become one with the Dharma body of suchness. When you say the name of Amida Buddha even once and thus attain the Pure Land, you become the Dharma body of suchness. When they hear that, their eyes glaze over. I saw a couple eyes glaze over, like, what? Jodo Shinshu is the easy practice, but it can be difficult to understand. And I've still yet to really manage this elevator or cocktail hour talk. And this is really my shortfall. I keep working on it, and I keep trying to distill it down. It just, I wish I could just hold up a flower and go like, see this flower? But I'm not there yet. And so I decided to ask if you could help me practice, and with some indulgence, try to give you a short answer, and you be my cocktail buddies, and you be my test partners, okay? So, Jodo Shinshu is a school of Japanese Buddhism that promotes reverence in Amida Buddha. Amida Buddha is the golden Buddha of pure virtue, and it's pure, golden. That's why we call it, that's why we've decorated it in gold and lacquered gold. And it's the Dharma body of suchness. When we sincerely recite the name of Amida Butsu, which is Namo Amida Buddha, or Namo Amida Butsu, we are brought to see the world differently than we normally have. We come to see the world as pure and virtuous, or just so, or such. This is the suchness. And some say when you start to see these virtues in the world, then life's rubble, all the troubles that we have, starts to turn into gold. So my friend says, wow, how does that happen? And then I go on to part 2. I say, well, by reciting the Nen Butsu. Nen means to be mindful, and Butsu is the Buddha. And so in our practice, we say to be mindful of the Buddha's virtues, you will attain the wisdom of the Buddha, and you awaken to the Buddha's working in your life. And they're kind of looking at me, and they're sipping on their diet, whatever, with a little bit of rum or whatever's in there. He says, is that the same as meditating on Amida Buddha? And so I said, well, not exactly. Rather, we like to think of Amida as meditating on us. We are just the recipients of that thinking. In this respect, we totally give into Amida's working in our life, this innate pureness, this natural suchness, of the world, this world just sort of unfolding. And when we let go and the world unfolds, then we have a mind without worry. So we think trees bloom, blossoms fall, apples are eaten during the apple season. That is naturalness. That's the suchness. And this leads us to what we call a settled mind. And this settled mind is what the Buddhas have. You see them meditating. They don't look like they're all frantic. They don't look like they rush to service to get there at 10 o'clock. They're very settled. And when you can let the world of suchness happen just as it is, you too become settled. It's like, I'm late today. I'm early today. Things happen. My friend says, wow, this is starting to sound a little complicated. I'm not sure I wanted to get into this conversation. So I say, yeah, let's have another drink. The fact is, we really don't know how Shin liberation occurs. It's rather mysterious and inconceivable. Yet you'll hear many testimonies from devout members talk about this deep religious experience that they've had when they've come to recognize the naturalness of the world, the suchness of the world, and the world as explained by the word Namo Amida Butsu, calling the name of the Buddha. The way I like to think about it is at the margins of our life, the margins, I've talked about this before, this great beyond we're able to think about, is this huge mystery. And this mystery is why many of us come to temple, and maybe why we're here on Shotsuki Day. One mystery is our birth. One mystery is our death. But another mystery is everything in between that occurs every day, all these mysteries, the suchness of our life, the life that we have and the way it is and how it became and all the things that it became and the reasons and all the things that it will become and the reasons for that. This is our life unfolding and this suchness. I think when Shakyamuni was showing the flower to Kashyapa, I think that's what Kashyapa got. He got like, it came from this, it came from that, it's going to be this, after that. It's like, yeah, I get it. This is the essence of a flower. It's not just something yellow, it's not just something, it's all of that. It's everything. And this suchness is really quite important, because the suchness is the inconceivable formlessness that becomes form in our life, and all this form is being born and returning to nothing, and then from nothing being reborn. And this is all this mysteriousness, but it's not just nothing. It's nothing and something with a lot of meaning to it. Our lives are meaningful. That's why you're here today. Somebody passed in your life, and you felt important to come here, and so there's meaning in that. Or somebody didn't come here for their family, but came here to celebrate the joys of Amida Buddha. This is this great mystery and meaning. We don't do things for no meaning at all. Even sometimes when potato chips are in front of you, and you're watching the football game, and you're eating, there's a meaning in there somewhere. I don't know what it is quite exactly. I think it's drowned out in the little soda pop or beer that you're having with it. But there's a meaning in watching basketball and football. So recently I shared these thoughts with my family. I said, what do you guys think Amida Buddha is? And we had a discussion in which my kids compared what they learned in Dharma school to compare with what they learned in Catholic school. And they basically said, Dad, I don't believe in Amida Buddha. So then I said to them, well, Amida Buddha is not something you really need to believe in. Do you believe in gravity? It's like, what is gravity? If I told you there's gravity, do you believe me that there's gravity or not? So, Jodo Shinshu just opens our eyes to these things that are already happening in the world and makes us known through this calling of the name, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu is everything and anything, and it's all these things combined, just like the flower that Kashyapa saw. He saw in the name of the flower, he saw the whole world. And in the name of the Namo Amida Butsu resides the whole world as well. My family member passed away, Namo Amida Butsu. My family member had a baby, Namo Amida Butsu. It's my birthday, Namo Amida Butsu. It's your birthday, Namo Amida Butsu. Today I have to work, tomorrow I quit. All these things in between. This is Namo Amida Butsu. My daughter says to me, Dad, this is like a mourning dove in the tree. I said, yeah, Namo Amida Butsu. Yeah, when the dove poops on your car, that's also Namo Amida Butsu. And when the cat goes out and then the cat comes inside and the cat vomits some grass on the rug, that's also Namo Amida Butsu. Or when you take your dog for a walk and your dog is running off across the street and then you realize they're looking for the other dog that they want to sniff and growl at, that's Namo Amida Butsu. Taking all these things into consideration, this is our practice of realizing what all the world and what all these happenings are about. We don't need no sneaking flower. Every day, every life, and every moment is a flower for us. And we recognize this with the saying, Namo Amida Butsu. So, getting back to the party. Is Amida a god? So then I say, no. Amida is nothing and everything. Oh my goodness. Okay, how about this? When you die, do you believe you'll be reincarnated? And I say, when we die every moment that we are living. And every moment we are recreated and reincarnated. That's life mystery. And then they ask, well, when you say you're reborn in the Pure Land, is that like heaven? And I say, yes. Okay, next question. And they say, can I be reborn there too? And to that I say, no. you do not have the golden ticket. So I wish you a good day every day, whether it's those that have passed that you're memorializing or those that you remember and the friends that you have at this moment. You have the golden ticket in your hand. It's the Nembutsu. It will guide you well and follow the path. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Thank you.